don't get the Monday show. We don't get the Monday night football plays out there. Obviously, we're going to make sure we start using the Discord and the Telegram going forward, and we've got a good path for getting those Monday plays out. But welcome in here to the Ticket Punchers. JR, Curtis, thank you guys so much for joining in here today. Let's just do a little bit of a recap here, how you guys have been doing. Long weekend. Those weekends for us kind of get extended into Monday in terms of the show going live. But Curtis, we'll start with you. How are you doing, my man, here on this fine Tuesday? And how's the weekend for you?
Yeah, doing good, man. Fun weekend of sports, really all across the board. For our Big X plays, we did go 1-1. Lost that, under on that South Florida and North Texas. Got it back on the Jake Ferguson longest completion. Yep. So, 1-1, but overall, just a fun weekend to watch sports. So it's been going good.
You also got to watch a little bit of Louisville volleyball, and you were at the UCF Cincinnati game, correct?
Correct. Louisville, fun. I didn't realize how small the volleyball venue was, but it was fun. Yeah, it definitely is. And then it's always fun, to go to Cincinnati, be in that environment. So yeah, fun weekend all around.
Love to hear that, JR. We know you're on a work trip right now. You're in the remote JR Junkyard Dog Studios down. Let the listeners know, how have you been doing today? You had a big change in your week, but let us know about your weekend as well.
Yeah, been up since 4 a.m. Got a flight to Atlanta that was delayed twice, but finally got here and had a couple conferences and finally, making some time for the show. So excited to be here and ready to get the week started. So let's
really ready to get the
tickets punched this week.
Glad to hear that. Sorry, crazy work trip out of nowhere, kind of messing up your week a little bit. You've got the young kid as well. I'm sure you don't like to leave her up there with the mom, but that's, working, making money, making things happen. It's how we can do these things that we get to do here on the Ticket Punchers. So glad to have you guys in. Fellas, like Curtis mentioned, we had I think each of us had a couple winning plays, maybe one or two losing plays on the weekend. We gave a lot of leans out on Friday and not a whole lot of actual big punches of the day. We got to come up with the right name because Big X, Big Bets, I feel like that's talked about on the other shows, and we want to differentiate those a little bit. The punches of the day, the official punches of the day is kind of what we're going to go with. I think on our official punches, like Curtis went 1-1. I went 2-0 on my official punches. And what do we want to call the leans? Jabs. My jabs were not great at all, fellas. The Jake Ferguson yards. I tailed the receptions with you, Curtis, and I hit the longest reception that was sitting at 18.5. He didn't get a lot of targets, though. Pickens was the go-to guy. Pickens was eating up that Carolina defense. So official punches went good. The leans, not so great, but we're going to have a good week here on the Ticket Punchers. My official record's sitting at 2-4 for official punches. Curtis, I believe you're, above 500. I think you got a two-pick lead above yours. JR, I'm not sure about yours. I know you were 2-0 to start things off. I think you got off to like a 4-1 start with those couple of aces picks. Yeah. Don't remember how the Friday plays went for you. But, fellas, recap your plays from the weekend. JR, we'll start with you if you've got yours ready up there.
Hey, we're ready to go. So BYU money line covered. We actually won that game 33-27, so that was a W there. Alabama money line against Mizzou, money line there. That's 2 wins for the day. We also took the Alabama 3.5. They won by exactly 3. They should have done a lot better there. They won 27-24, but we got 1 out of the 2 plays from that game. So we got hooked on that one. So all goody. Las Vegas Aces, they brought it home. It's a sweep. Bring out the brooms. Minus 140 there. And then Oregon, they took a tough loss. So overall, we finished 3-2 for the previous week.
Not bad at all. Sitting at 3-2. I'm sitting at 2-4. Curtis, I believe you're at 4-2. 3-2. So, fellas, you guys both above 500. 2-0 day does a little bit of justice for me, making my record seem a little bit not as bad as it is. That's when we started 0-4 there, but glad I could get the Bo Nix 25-plus rushing yards out. We also hit the UCF plus 10.5. I gave that one out. Curtis doing a little bit of justice for us with the live analyzing on that game, letting us know that the pick probably going to be safe. We took the 20 in live time just because they got off to that big lead. Cincinnati did. I'm thinking, I don't know, 10.5. I feel like UCF's getting down the field, but they're not converting anything, and they keep having little silly mistakes. Luckily, right there at the end on that conversion, just an unreal way to cover that. glad to not lose my money that way. That felt good. But time for me to climb back up, get back up over the positive. Big X Big Bet sitting at 8-6, not too good there. I hit the Dodgers money line yesterday, fellas. Yesterday on the Run In with Roman show, we gave that one out. So we've got a week of bets to look into. We've got college football every single night this week, other than the NFL nights. So that's obviously super exciting. Philly, I know you kind of look into the teams that are playing tonight. You know, you do a little bit of Sun Belt peeping on them. You know a little bit about WKU as well. So we're maybe going to get your leans as that in the college football realm tonight. But JR, Curtis, where are your heads at just in the week of betting, looking into what we've got this week? You guys feeling some MLB stuff? You on the college football side of things? I mean, I had a terrible 1 p.m. slate on Sunday, so I'm kind of feeling a little bit off with the NFL, but of course I make a little bit of money back with the prime time on Sunday night. Thankfully, Mahomes doing the job for me there. I took the Bears plus 5.5 yesterday. I tailed what's his name on Twitter, the guy that's been going crazy, the Rowdy Rebels guy. He's got like an insane record, and I liked the under in that game. I was like, are the Bears going to do this? I was feeling the Bears. I wasn't feeling confident in the Commanders yesterday. I see his plus 5.5 like an hour before game time. I see a lot of people are kind of agreeing with him. I'm like, you know what? Let me just take this Bears plus 5.5. The favorites in primetime games hadn't been doing well, and with the Bears looking like, I'm like, well, the Bears look like this an hour into this game right here. I'm taking the Bills. I'm sorry, look like this an hour into this game. Luckily, those staggered start times last night kind of like made me think, there's no way this is really going to happen again. Or is this really happening again? Like, is this really happening? Are the favorites both are going to lose again tonight, or both be kind of wavering games in which they don't control those games at all? And that's exactly what happened. 6 of the 7 last favorites in primetime games losing out right now, fellas. So there's some really, really weird, janky stuff happening in the NFL. It doesn't matter if it's 1 p.m. It doesn't matter if it's primetime. There's not a real good way to figure out if the teams are going to be succeeding or if players and player props are going to be succeeding these days. You got to really dive deep into the matchups when you get to this point in the season. So where are you guys at going into this week of betting? A lot of football on is kind of where I'm assuming you guys are going to be. We don't have NBA games starting up officially yet. We've still got the preseason action. So
some preseason action. The starters look like they might be running for 2 to 3 quarters from the last few games I've watched. So I got a couple legs for preseason for tonight. Looks like Pistons and the Cavs are playing, and then OKC and the Bucks. So we'll throw out a few lines there, and then I was just taking a look at some of the college stuff. Looks like heavy favorites again with the Arkansas game and some of the other. I don't know if I will dabble with that. Looks like New Mexico Liberty, and then Arkansas State, South Alabama, FIU, and Western Kentucky. Everybody's minus 275 or greater. If you take the favorites there, I mean, it's plus 200 or so. But I was looking at some baseball. Kind of want to do some hits tonight. So I really like Hernandez over 1 hit. He's covered 11 out of the last 13 games, and I like Freeman. Yeah, I like Freeman as well over 1 hit, 12 of the last 14 games. So I think I'm gonna run a little parlay there, and then also bet them straight.
Those jabs are those official punches right there.
Those are two haymakers.
2 haymakers, official punches coming early here in the Ticket Puncher. So I want to quickly first, before we get Phillies picks, I want to apologize to our radio listeners. We had a technical difficulty just happening right now, and apparently we weren't on the airwaves. The Cardinal Insider was live on the airwaves, which it shouldn't be from 5:30 to 6, but luckily we caught that early enough, and we're now not only streaming on our, of course, YouTube page, the Real Spill page, and then my X. We're also on the radio, so that's good. Podcast is all good, though. No worries on that. But one more time for the radio listeners who maybe didn't get that there quickly. JR, those 2 picks, those few picks you're on tonight.
Yeah, Hernandez over 0.5 hits, and then also Freeman over 0.5. So I'm going to bet him as a parlay, and then also take them as straights as well.
On Tio Oscar Hernandez and on Freddie Freeman. Both guys who have had a little bit of success already in their careers going up against Freddie Peralta. Freddie Freeman, 6 for 26 in his career going up against Freddie Peralta. So, feeling like he's going to have a little bit of success there tonight if Freddie tries to go 2 or 3 times. I mean, if Freddie tries to go a 3rd or 4th time through that order, Philly, there's no way these guys aren't going to get some hits from him. And at that point, I don't think the pitch count will even allow for him to go that deep. But, second, third time around, definitely be prepared for these guys to start getting some hits on Freddie for sure. So I like that. Curtis, where are you at?
Yeah, I've been looking at pretty much a lot of sports, for this week. Obviously, NBA ramping up next week. Already looking at the primetime game Thursday. As you mentioned, Roman, the underdogs have been barking. I think this Bengals line might get up to 6.5. I'm sure we'll get a lot of public bets on the Steelers. And if that, I already took the plus 5.5, but if the Bengals get up to plus 6.5, I love that as well. Got a lot of smaller, college, football teams playing during the midweek. So I have a few plays for the night, and then the baseball slate tonight as well. I'll have a play for that. So
potential line move there. So like Curtis just mentioned, if you potentially think that the Bengals and the weird janky bull drive that's happening on primetime games is going to continue, definitely a line right now that's going to be subject to change. I think 5.5 is going to get bet up. I think people are going to think, oh my goodness, we can get the Steelers right now for minus 250 on a little bit of a parlay or something, thinking that there's not terrible juice on the money line there. Also, a lot of people who are a little bit more logical than that thinking, oh, I think the Steelers win this. They're 4-1. Going up against the 2-4 Bengals, Flacco's not going to be able to do anything against this defense. I'm on this 5.5. That's going to make that line go up and up and up, and people are going to the books are going to start shifting it up to 6.5. You just know that that's what's going to happen. I'm surprised the overs here is sitting at 43.5. I think that's just I was thinking it's going to be like a 39 or a 40 when you're talking about Steelers and Bengals, who haven't looked all that clean, we should just say, so far this season. I like that though. Is that so? Official punch, you're talking the plus 5.5 on the Bengals Steelers?
Oh yeah, we can go official punch.
And for the night, you still looking at the slate, but you got any potential leans in college football tonight, or was that going forward in the week?
So I actually do have a big punch bet. If you want me to,
well, let's go with JR. JR, anything else tonight that before we are you like not tonight? I'm sorry, this week. Any lines that we need to look at right now? Maybe put the listeners on notice. This line, these yards, this guy, this team total. These are going to be subject to move once the bettors start getting their money in. Obviously, we like to watch the early lines. We caught that Aces line last week when it shifted. Where are you at in your early line peeping, JR?
The only thing that I've gotten a chance to look at so far is early touchdowns, which normally I try to stay away from because they're a little too juicy sometimes. But DK Metcalf, man, he's 4 out of 4 the last 4 games, and also like A-Chain, and obviously Jamar Chase. I mean, I think Flacco didn't look too bad in that outing. He actually perked up a little bit, and I thought that they were going to do a little something there at the end, but inevitably they took the L. But I do think he'll bounce back and be a little bit more fluent with getting Jamar and T and the other guys the ball, and keep it a decent game. But I still think that Curtis's spread will cover for sure. But touchdowns so far, if we got some TD guys out here, or TD parlayers, straight bettors, whatever you want to call it, DK Metcalf anytime, A-Chain anytime, and Jamar Chase anytime. Highly recommend betting them individually. All of them are close to minus 150, 200. So that's where I like so far. I'm waiting for injury reports to come out, so I'll have update on first quarter props, individual props, and just teams in general. And then
see who's fully practicing this week.
Yeah,
I love it. So we like getting those lines out early. JR, quickly explain to the listeners why we start to look at lines early in the week. What's the main reason we pay attention now to the things that we maybe are going to be betting in days from now?
Yeah, so I mean, the main thing I look at, I'm a night owl, so I'm typically up at 2-3 a.m. with the newborn and stuff. So I'm looking at lines, but typically most lines will drop early in the mornings, and then I'll kind of monitor them. I have a platform that tracks it, so you can kind of see like what the true line should be early, and then as the people in the market, where the money goes, where the percentage of bets go, you can kind of see like where the true edge is, for the consumer. So, if you can get it straight and stay away from the hooks on the 0.5s, I feel like that's you can find those more on the early bet. But as you get closer to game time, the books will have dialed in exactly what they feel like it should be based upon the market's reaction for that week, or for the days leading up to. So between Tuesday and Thursday is the best time.
A lot of wavering going on in those times. A lot of the real big money coming in early in the week as the bettors that are wagering thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's when they're getting their bets in, right? They're trying to get those early lines right when they're not betting based on lines. They're betting based on what they believe and trying to catch the books when they're slipping, right? So that's what we're trying to do here as well. When we're punching our tickets, JR, thank you for that. Appreciate you for there. We're going to get some more official Big X or some big punches out from JR here at the end of the show just for tonight. If he's got any, he's already given 2 out on the MLB game. Maybe he may have something for tomorrow potentially. But JR, thank you for there. Curtis, for tonight, let's go big punches in the college football. If you have any, or if you don't, it's okay. If there's a lean you maybe like, I think these games are kind of tough to read. These are all teams that have struggled against teams better than them and have kind of played up to their competition going up against the kind of teams we've got tonight. All the home teams, I believe, are favorites tonight as well. Curtis, are you looking at anything? And have you found anything that you maybe like here? As we do have a text on the Game Day Men's Health text line from Lazar Guy. We're going to get into that right after we hear from Curtis here on tonight's college football game.
Yeah, so this is a game I was actually requested to cover. I'm assuming somebody else already got approved for the game, but it's the FIU versus Western Kentucky game. And I'm going to lay the 9.5 with Western Kentucky. Look, FIU, they're outside of the top 100 in most statistical categories, offensive and defensively. In 2 of the road games that they've had this season, they're getting outscored 85-10. They're terrible on the road. They've lost 10 straight, going back to last season.
Granted, Penn State is one of those. Penn State is one of those.
But we've seen what Penn State has done. But yeah, 85-10 on the road. And I just don't think FIU will be able to keep up offensively with WKU. It just seems like the last 5 to 10 years, Western Kentucky just has that identity. They're going to run up the score. They always have a really good quarterback. They've came into this game 5-1. They've covered 4 straight at home. So, yeah, I think 9.5 is just too low of a number. So that's one of my big punches.
I'm with you. I love that. UConn just handled them 51-10. The UConn quarterback slinging the ball, short game, intermediate, long passing game. I mean, felt like FIU is just a walking broken coverage, if I'm being honest. So I'm tailing Curtis there. That's an official big punch from Curtis right there with the WKU spread sitting at -9.5. Opened up at 8.5, already gone up to 9.5. I think I saw it at 10.5 on a different book. That's a telltale sign right there that the books think that this game is actually going to be a little bit more in the favor of the home team. But I'm with you there. We're telling Curtis on that. 5-1 WKU has 2-3 FIU coming to town. They're looking to stay clean at home as well. So I love it. JR, anything you're looking at in tonight?
Like I said,
outside of that MLB?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for the Ole Miss game. That's the only one in college that I got my eyes on right now. So, you could take the favorites in tonight's games, and I think you'd be okay, or at least bet 2 out of the 3, and I think you'd be okay. I do like the WKU and the FIU game. The other one I hadn't done too much research on, but I don't have anything official on these 3 slates tonight.
Yeah, me neither. Truly, just Arkansas State. I think they're a little bit better than South Alabama. Why South Alabama 7.5 point favorites? I don't know. They're terrible, 1-5 this season. Liberty, I'm staying away from Liberty. They just too on and off for me. Way too on and off. This is not a team that should score a whole lot of points tonight. They're 10.5 point favorites. That line's moved up on New Mexico State, so I'm kind of just feeling Philly's pick there with the 9.5. Going to see what we can do there. Maybe parlaying that up with something to do with this Dodgers game. Maybe 1 or 2 of those hits from JR. Just getting all the punches on one ticket. I like it. Fellas, we do have a text on our Game Day Men's Health text line at 502-414-1450. Texter is our Lazard guy. He's been texting in every show that we've had so far here on the Ticket Puncher. Shout out to him. We also have another texter, Scooter Dingus. Texter says, get this garbage Cardinal. Get this off the air and give me the Ticket Punchers. Dang it. Yeah, Scoot, sorry. Thanks. Shout out to Scooter texting me personally so I could see that we weren't on air and I could change that real fast. But we've got a text in from Lazar guy, fellas. It says, love the Bengals and Flacco for Thursday Night Football. Only a few plays tonight for Dana White's Contender Series over on ESPN+. He's got, and I'm going to pull this up just because I forgot about this. There is that fighting tonight on some UFC fighting tonight on ESPN+, if you've got it. It is the Dana White Contender Series. Michael Oliveira, he's -300. He's a favorite. But Lazar guy here says he likes Jovan Leka. Got it now at -110. He's now -150. Marwin Rahiki, KO TKO at -145. And then he says he's got a dog play tonight. Juan Diaz for the KO at TKO at +650 as well. Juan Diaz, 10-2-0, going up against Azamat Nuftelov, 13-1-1. I don't know a whole lot about any of these names. I've heard of Freddie Vidal's name before just because he's a guy that's kind of been up and coming. And obviously I've heard of Michael Oliveira. I'm not too informed here. I mean, I'm seeing Jovan Leka was -110 to open, and he's now sitting at -155. I'm seeing. And that's a heavyweight fight. Do we take Lazar guys plays tonight for a little bit of UFC?
I mean, I'll blind tell. I mean, I know a few UFC bettors, so I mean, I can ask their opinion, but yeah, I'll blind tell with your Lazar guy.
He's taking Juan Diaz on the upset, 14-1-1, going up against Quan Wan, 14-5-0. Okay. So Juan Diaz actually hasn't. I mean, Quan Wan's lost 5 times. Juan Diaz has only lost once in the bantamweight. Do we take a little Juan Diaz, Jovan Leka 2-leg parlay right here, fellas?
Yeah, I'm with you, Lazar guy.
I'm on that. I'll throw a few bucks on that. Juan Diaz, Jovan Leka. Juan Diaz is +155. Jovan Leka is -155. Nice little 2-leg there to see if Lazar guy knows what he's talking about with a little bit of UFC. I also one of those things. It's like, I don't care about UFC all that much or boxing. As soon as I throw a little bit of money on a fight and turn that fight on, I'm the most excited person watching the sport.
Yeah,
and that's one cool thing about.
I love watching it.
I'm betting some
don't
fights.
Know too much about it.
Got a text in here who just sent their parlay as we've got about 3 or 4 minutes before we get out of here. $10 to win $147. They've got a 25% parlay boost on it. It's a 5-leg pick, fellas. They've got Freddie Freeman, 1+ hit. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 6+ strikeouts, which was a Matt Childress Big X Big Bet. My co-host from the Running with Roman, he gets one bet out a day. He's sitting at 4-4 right now. His Big X of the day was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 7+. They're also parlaying this with the Dodgers money line, the under 7 total. I would have took the 7.5 to avoid the push there. And then they got Tio Oscar Hernandez, 1+ hits. So it sounds like this texter is just kind of taking our bets here. I like the Dodgers. He's taking the Freddie hits. He took the Hernandez hits. He took producer Matt's 6+ strikeouts. My Big X Big Bet of the day, my official punch of the day, is going to be the Dodgers Brewers under 7.5. So, fellas, we love this. We've got a texter on the Game Day Men's text line sending their parlay, which is the plays that we've got. So, people riding with us here on the Ticket Punchers. What do you guys think of that?
So, I love the Freddie and the not sure about the Teo, but I'm honestly on – or would be on Yamamoto's under strikeouts. Not mad at the 6+ alternate. And then I love the Brewers tonight actually to win.
Really?
I do.
On a bounce
back.
Are you just saying that, or are you mad at Yamamoto?
No, I'm not mad at Yamamoto, but his worst start this season was against this Brewers team. They're
on the road.
Yep, on the road, exactly. And Brewers, they're gonna be hungry, knowing they cannot go down 0-2 and go back to LA. One of the best home teams, all year. So I honestly do like the Brewers to bounce back, tied up 1-1 here. Just my personal opinion.
I'm not mad at that. See, because they won last night, and I thought the Brewers would win the night. The first matchup that they got Peralta out there was kind of like, well, if Peralta's out there, I'll bet the Brewers. I'm staying away personally. I am taking that under 7.5 because of what you just said, though, Curtis. They can't go down 0-2 and go back to
LA.
Go. Game 3 is now doomsday at that point. You don't want that. You cannot go back to LA down 0-2. And I think because of that, no matter what happens, they're going to try to keep these runs as low as possible for the Dodgers. Early on, right? If Peralta starts to waver, walks a couple guys, he gets into a bad count in the 4th, 5th inning, you're going to see them make the right decision, I feel like, because they have to. They don't have a choice. They should see all their batters making the right decisions in the box when it gets late in this game as well. I think because of that, I think that we should get an under here. I think the under should hit again in the second night in a row there. So I'm feeling here in the texter. I think Teo's going to get it. I mean, 1+. I feel like every time I look up, Teo's getting a hit. I don't remember what he did last night, though. But like JR said, he's been 11 out of 11 in his last 11 games. So that's probably why I feel like that. Fellas, anything we missed? Anything else we need to get out there before the show ends? Don't think today's going to be a carryover day. We're going to try to make the carryover days Thursday and Friday at the moment, in which after the 6 o'clock time comes, we will go on for another 15 minutes or so. But where are we at here and tonight is we've got all of our big punches out, it seems like. So I don't think we've missed out on anything. Anything else we need to let the listeners know, JR?
No, I do have a sweaty Yoshi bet that I like. I kind of got into MLB Lab over the last couple of days. I just found the last nugget that I needed, but under 16 and a half putouts. I'm thinking early pull here. Maybe something like 8 innings, or definitely before 8 innings. But
like a 6th inning, early 6th inning or something.
Just facts on the lineup. The Brewers lineup has the fourth least Ks versus RHP this season. So I like it, man. I think it'll be sweaty. If we lose, it'll be by the 0.5 or 1 or something like that. But it's minus 130 on FanDuel. So under 16 and a half putouts, and then Jamar Chase over 69 and a half reception yards.
Get that now, because that's going to go up. That'll be 74, 75 before the game starts.
I think Flacco and team will design very short yardage plays, and then some post routes, some corner routes. But I can tell Flacco is loving T. Higgins and Jamar, so expect them to have really good days. So over 69 and a half, minus 114 on FanDuel. So.
Love it. The fellas, this is going to wrap us up here on the Ticket Punchers. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, 5:30 to 6, right here on the Big X.
Tickets.
Like those tickets.
Let's go punch some tickets.
In stream. Punch some tickets, everybody.